Hi everyone. Good day. Today we are going to discuss about the input elements. Using form, we can actually take the input from the user. The input data you can send to server. Okay, so first of all, we create a form. Probably we discussed this in earlier session, but due to some reasons it could not be completed. So once again I am reviving it. Once again I am going to revive it because the other day there was some issue with the internet. Due to that we could not have that session successfully. So now let us review that. Using this ASP.NET Visual Studio, I am opening it because when you submit data from form, it should go to server. So therefore server side component is required. So far we discussed were actually web pages, HTML pages we created. But to send to server, you require some side of server side technology, server side coding. So I am using here ASP.NET. Similar to ASP.NET, you can use even other things like you can use say PHP or you can use Java, but I use here ASP.NET. So using ASP.NET, we do it now. So what I do here, I just create a form. The form contains various elements like username, then gender. In the same manner, even other things are also available on the form. Okay, so once I input data into the form, when I submit, it should go to server. In the server side, it should be received. Okay, so therefore I have created here two different styles. One is for user input, other one is for here user field title. I am creating two different things in this. One is here user input, other one is here say user field title. I have created both of them in this. Then after that, here the form appears for us when you when you enter data into the form, and when you submit, it goes to server. It should be going into server. That way trying to make it. Okay, so here first of all I define CSS. So using CSS, here I define two styles. One is for user input, other one is for user field title. I can have a user input, I can have here a user field title. Okay, so in the body I am going to use this way here. Style, this is text align center, padding, user registration. This I am going to show with the h3 tag. Then followed by I use a div. In this div I am using the form method equal to post action equal to default.aspx. So whenever we submit form data, it should go to the consult page. The page is what exactly? Default.aspx, that contains user interface as well as server side coding. So the server side part is going to accept user input data. So when it goes to the server, that is actually here received by default.aspx server side coding. So server side code is going server side component is going to receive whatever we submit from here. Okay, so here as we know there are different types of user inputs. You can input text, you can go with the radio buttons. Radio button meaning is it's option button. Of the available multiple options, you should use any one option there. So that can be called as normally option. We can say that as option buttons. So we use here option buttons for that purpose. Then after that we do with the say check boxes. Okay, so here user hobbies we are going to select. So therefore swimming is one option and painting is another option. We are trying to use both of them. So we are trying to use both of them there. One is swimming, other one is painting. Just a minute, why this is giving little trouble once again. Let me check. So here it is speed test. Just want to go with the speed test. Let me test the speed, how much speed it is. cache is required. So let me test because stream, whether it is healthy stream or not. I want to check. I'm going to check for the health of the stream. So the problem is what then I can identify. If things are good, then that is fine. Okay, so I'm going to check here, begin test. So when I go with the begin test, the speed test, it's very good. It's about 50 Mbps speed is, it should be very nice. Okay, fine it is. Now coming to here the page, in this page I have like this. See, div style margin left 300px with 600px, and it's going to be getting submitted to this particular page default.aspx. This has both user interface and server side, and this is going to be a dynamic web page. This can be called as a dynamic web page. Okay, so this is going to be a dynamic web page. So here, but we are not bothering about that page. What is getting rendered in that page, we are not bothering. We are bothering about actually in the server side coding what it is available, that we are going to see. But before that, we look at the user interface. So it is having here gender, id gender 1, id gender 2, we take like this. Then followed by we have hobbies. So for hobbies, we take actually here like checkboxes we use. Swimming and painting are going to be two values. We have here swimming as well as painting. Then followed by we have here a select. It's nothing but a drop down list. So from the drop down list we are going to be selecting any one option. So we have taken like here 4 different values. One is India, then Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Pakistan. But whenever you take value is going to be here India, it can be Ceylon, it can be East Bengal and it can be Pakistan. But for us it's looking like actually India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Pakistan. But when you select Sri Lanka, it's going to be Ceylon. Similarly, if you select Bangladesh, it's going to be East Bengal. So like this, and Pakistan is going to be Pakistan. So like this, these are getting displayed. The value is going to be here East Bengal, like this. I'm keeping here this one. Then followed by here email ID. Okay, so in this user email, it is going to be again input box, input text box that is. Then we have after that password. Then here we have a say text area with 10 rows and 60 columns. At the end we have submit button as well as reset button. When I render it, how this looks, see. I am rendering this here in the browser. I would like to render this. Okay, here view in browser. When I click on view in browser, this is going to be getting rendered in the browser here. So user registration form is something like this. You can see the user registration form something like this. Here you can enter username, then you can enter here male or female, then hobbies, whatever you would like to select you can select. You can select both, but here you can select only one, either male or female. You need to select there. Only one option, you need to select from that. Then here email ID you can enter, and you need to enter password here, followed by you can describe yourself. Then after that you can submit data to server. You can submit data to server. So when you submit data to server, in the server side, this has to be captured. Whatever data we send from here, it should be captured from the server side. And these are called as form fields. Whatever you have inside the form, these can be called as here form fields. We can call this as actually form fields. You have here form fields. So whatever data you have in this will be sent to the server. So in the server, the values are going to be accepted. There we are going to accept values in the server side. Okay, now let me close, time being this one, then see what is written in the server side. This is the code which I am writing in the server side. So in the see, whenever you send a request to server, it is called as actually, it is responsible. Request object in the server side is responsible. Whether it is PHP or Java or .NET, does not make any difference. You have in the server side a request component which is going to be responsible for receiving incoming request. So it's going to be accepting incoming request. Along with the request, you may send some implicit data. You may be sending some your own data that can be explicit data. but along with the request, automatically the browser is going to send some implicit data related to method, whether that's post method or get method, what is the HTTP protocol you are using. So all that information will be sent to the server. Server can identify what browser you are using, so what is your OS. So all this can be identified by the browser, so by the server. So your web server is going to be getting all the information related to your application. What is your IP address, from which IP address request was made, all that information will be available for the for the server. So whenever your request is sent, at the same time browser is going to send some other information that is called as implicit data. Explicitly probably you enter data, along with the data even the browser is going to send some information that is called as implicit data. Okay, so similarly whenever you are receiving data from server, so whenever data you are getting from server, that is with the response object. Response object is going to be responding, it's going to send content as well as how the page should be getting rendered in your browser. So all that instructions also will be sent along with you get some implicit data again. So whenever you whenever you make a request to server, similarly whenever you get response from server, in both the cases you have actually implicit data. So that is sent by the browser and server. Whenever you make a request, browser is sending. Whenever you receive message, that is got by the that is sent by the server. So server is receiving messages, implicit data from the browser. Similarly, browser is receiving from server whenever it is getting response from the request. Like that, normally the browser and the server are going to work. So this is basically a client server application. It's a very big client server application, we can say. Normally in the case of client server applications, you may have a database, you get connected database using some server side coding, and you may have a client using client, you get connected to that. Normally that is called as client server, but here even web applications are also client server technologies. Okay, so therefore here whatever data you send, it should go to server. In the server we need to get it. So here in this code, what we do, response.write username, whatever name we type here in this is sent to the server. When you run this, whatever data you enter into the username text box, that will be sent to the server. So let us render this once again, how it is coming in the server side. I enter here ASRAW, then followed by here, what I do here, I click on the submit. When I click on submit, it should go to server. In the address bar, it should say default.aspx. In the place of user registration, now it is going to be default.aspx. You can see here it's printing ASRAW followed by registration. So like this, whatever data I have sent from client is received by server. That is called as server side coding. So in the server side, it's getting actually ASRAW there. You are getting information as ASRAW. You are getting it as ASRAW in the server side, because you typed same thing here. If you see, you typed here ASRAW that you have sent. So this is basically form. If you don't have this form, you cannot send to server. For example, I try to put a text box above this form, then try to let me send that to server. Whether it can receive the data or not, see there. I stop it, followed by here, outside the scope of form, I try to make one text box. I can make a text box here. So just put a text box here. So this is input. So before that, I put here user input, outside form, I put like this. Outside form, I put like this. So here input type equal to text. I put this as type equal to text here, followed by I require some name equal to outside text, OS text I put, then ID is also here, OS text. Like this I can set. Then after that I close this here. I'm going to close the tag like this. So this is what OS text variable. Okay, now if I come to default.aspx, I want to print that value. Here I want to print that. Here write, I go with some other condition, string I put here. So here write like this, if condition request dot form, because all these are nothing but form variables. So this is what OS text I should use. OS text not equal to null. If this is not equal to null, that means if it's not existing, then in such cases I can print it. Okay, if it's not equal to null, therefore what I do, I can print it. Response dot write OS text is received. Like this, we can display some message. So whenever this value is not available, it returns a null value, but when it's available, it can't be equal to null. Null means what? Missing value. So here what happens? If the value is not missing, if the value is available, in such case it prints OS text is received. Otherwise, it displays a null value. Now come to the user registration once again. Now let me submit some data from here. So by starting, so go to this, then view in browser. Here I enter AVR, or I put some Lakshman here, username, ROM I put. This data I enter. After that I submit data. If I submit data, so if the server is accepting this user input, it should display Lakshman. Otherwise, it will not display. Now come to this, then submit it. When we submit, it's printing only ROM, it's not printing anything like Lakshman there, because the value is not available. Now let us make it available on the form. What happens in such cases? See there. Now here, whatever I kept, so whatever I kept here, this I want to put inside form now. I want to put this inside form. So with that, what happens? See, you are going to make this part of actually form. Then here, try to put. Prior to that, it was not part of form, but try to print now. This in the form. Try to put in the form. What will happen with the C? So user input outside form. In fact, it's not outside form. Now this is what inside form. We say this as here inside. It's not outside. It's part of the form now. Inside form we put, followed by we enter data. When you enter data, what happens with that? It should be getting displayed. We need to. It has to display there. So just render this again. You in browser, render it. Okay, so it is on the screen, it's looking the same location. Since we haven't applied any style, so it looks in the same manner. But this time, let me enter here. Lakshman I enter, followed by here I enter Ram also. So what will happen with that? See, side by side they'll be getting printed. Lakshman and Ram, it's going to be printing for us. Now see here, OS text is received. OS text, sorry, we are not printing it. OS text is received. That much only is getting printed. Followed by we have RAM here, because in the code in that way we have written. So if you keep input inside the form method, that value is available in the server. Otherwise, in the server side you cannot get. You cannot get otherwise. This is the server side. You are not going to get anything in the server side. So this way it's going to be working. So here what we do exactly? We enter data into the form fields. All these are called as here form fields. When you enter data in the form field and submit, it goes into server. In the server side, I use this page default.aspx. So using here C# code, I am handling in the server side. To create dynamic pages, these days we need to depend on the server side coding. So this is exactly server side code. With the help of that, we are trying to here send some data from form. In the form fields, we enter data, we submit it to server. Now you got this in the server. In the server side, it's working this way here. So whatever variables we send, it has gone to server. They are called as form variables or form fields. And this is related to C# and related to ASP.NET technology. We don't bother much about that, but just I am showing how it's working with the server side. Now other one, apart from this input, here sometimes what happens, you may have certain user interface. So user interface you have here, but sometimes what happens, you want to share some data, that data you want to hide. So that is nothing but here hidden field. You can use here hidden field. So let me put here some hidden field inside this. Within the form, I want to put some hidden field. Here I put like this, write it input, followed by type equal to hidden. I can use here this as hidden. This is going to be hidden. This cannot be shown on the screen, but it can have value. Value equal to, we send like this 1 2 3, or we can say just keep 1. This is going to be 1. We put this as here 1, then followed by name equal to, you put some name here. Name is HFB, hidden field value, we put like this. So this way we have created here input type hidden, value is 1. Okay. Now when you submit data, even this value is available in the server side for us. Come to server side and try to capture that value. Here see, we write once again if request.form take like this, followed by, this is what hidden field value HFB. If this is not equal to null, so what we do in such cases, if that is not equal to null, therefore here first we print this way. This is what response.write. Here inside this we try to write in this br, then followed by slash, then put here hidden field is available on the form. Okay, like this we can put. Then here its value is, take like this, then try to print its value. So how do we get value? We take request dot form followed by here HFB, close double quotes, then dot value. So sorry, dot to string we put here, we convert it to string, then we display the string value here. Like this we are going to use this. Okay, so here in this manner we are trying to display it. Then here similarly use one more br tag, it comes in the next line, followed by plus username we set. Like this we are making server side. Okay, come to user registration, then again render this. Rendering means showing in the, opening in the browser the concerned page. Now enter here something like Kapil. Okay, this is Kamal, we put like this, then after that here we submit this data. When we submit, we get actually 3 different values. OS text is received. Okay, hidden field value, hidden field is available on the form, its value is 1, and other one is what Kamal, we are getting like this. So hidden field is not going to be getting displayed in the user interface, but values we can share between the server and client, client and server. So that's what is hidden field. So hidden field you can use that way. Hidden field to share data between the form and say server, you can use the hidden field. So here we use one more thing, hidden field. And apart from this, you can use actually certain links. Links you can use. With the help of link, you can jump from one page to another page, or in the same page also from one section to another section you can jump. So here I put like this. Anchor tag I use here, followed by href equal to, here it is. I go with the, we have only 2 things, we have only 2. One is what default.aspx, other one is user registration. I use here default.aspx, followed by here I keep this as open default page without form submission. We are not submitting form in this. Without form submission, we are trying to call that. So this time it does not receive any data. It does not receive any data. If you click on the anchor tag, it's going to open the default page. So at that time you cannot see any data. But normally when you submit from the user registration page, at that time it's going to get data, because you have a form. On the form you put data, then you submit. So in that case it goes into server. But now here what happens? It is not going to show any data. If you click on this link with a you can go with the links. You can provide a link. With the help of link, you can navigate from one page to another page, or from one site to another site also you can navigate. For that we use anchor tag. Now save it, then try to here once again render it. So we have here open default page without form submission. Click on this. It is coming into registration. It's not showing any data here. Reason is what? We are not using any form. Without using form, we are going with that. But normally if you use submit button, you are filling actually form data. When form data is available, what it does, it's going to be executing this. Otherwise, it's going to be just ignoring all this. It's just going to ignore all that, like we have done here, the code. If request.form.count greater than 0. So whenever you submit form data, form count will be greater than 0 there. If form is having any elements, so element count comes in that. But now in our previous case, we are directly showing the default page instead of coming from the user registration. If you submit data from user registration page, at the time this part of code will be executed. Otherwise, without executing this, straight away the page will come up. So if this particular piece of code is getting executed, whenever you are submitting form, in such case only you are going to get all this getting executed. Otherwise this will not be executed. So therefore empty form appears for you. See once again. We are opening in both the cases same page. So default.aspx, we are using it as server side. Okay, but here whenever you click on the link, straight away you jump into the default.aspx, nothing will be shown there. Come to this, you are not going to get any data here. Come back here, then now type username. So put like this ASRow here, followed by, come to this point, then here say submit. It says hidden field is available on the form, its value is 1, then ASRow, like this you get. Because you are submitting data this time using form, but when you click on this without submitting any form data, simply you are going into default.aspx. So when you jump without entering any form data, it does not display anything for you. But whenever you fill form and when you go with submit, in such cases, it is going to take away along with the link the required data. And we are using here post method. What we are using here is post method. So if you look at this, method equal to post it is. You can see here, method is what exactly? It's post. But if you change the method to get here, you can see some difference. Once again, let us see in this. So I am going to render in browser. Now here if I type some 100 instead of username, I enter some 100, followed by when I click on the submit, 100 will be shown to you here. And in the address bar, there is no change in this. Like this, simply page name is shown for us. So only page name is available there. You cannot get any other thing. Like this is working here. Okay. But now what I do, I change the method. Method is what right now? It's actually post method. Suppose I make it get, what happens, see. I make this as get, followed by try to render this here. So view in browser. Now here enter some data. I enter 100. Okay. Followed by, this is male. Swimming we take, painting we take, Sri Lanka we have taken. So we give this empty and this one also empty. Now submit. Now when you submit here, you have like this. You are getting the query string along with this. When you use get method along with the request, page request, it's going to append the query string. This is called as a query string. Username is 100, gender equal to on, chk swim equal to swimming, and chk paint equal to painting, user email equal to empty, that is user password is empty, description equal to empty, hf equal to 1. So like this, it is actually going to show you data. It's showing data like this. So this is exactly what a query string. When you use get method, this kind of things happen there. So people can easily see what you are sending. This is not the secure way of doing things. It's not secure actually. So here what is happening? People can easily see what is happening here. So this get is not actually secured one. When you want to retrieve some data, in such cases normally you can use. But as far as post is concerned, post does not display like this. In the query string, this part you cannot see. This is nothing but query string. You can see here default.aspx question mark username equal to 100. Like this, it's going to show. This is what exactly a get method. When you use get method, it happens like this. Now let us change into again just post method. What happens once again? See there. Come to this, then go with the post method. Keep like this here, then try to render once again this page. So when I submit form data, I enter again 100 here. When I submit, you cannot see anything here. Okay, when you submit here, you are not going to see anything here, because this time we are using just post method. When you use post method, unlimited data first of all you can send to server. At the same time, it is secure. Whatever data you are sending, it's not shown in the address bar. So it's not shown in the address bar. So therefore, this is going to be somewhat safer when compared with the get method. Okay, so these days cyber security is very important. Wherever it is required, you need to follow. You need to follow standards. So therefore, you are going to have less risk. Otherwise, risk can be more and more. You cannot totally avoid the risk, but definitely you can reduce the risk factor. So try to use certain standards whenever you create the pages. Here what we have done, therefore today we added few, say 2 more tags. One is what? Hidden field, input type equal to hidden, value equal to 1, name is HFV. Similarly, we are using here one more kind of mechanism called as link. Using link also you can jump into default.aspx page. But what is happening with that? It's not going to find any form data in such cases. When you click on the link, you are not submitting through the form. So therefore, no data will be available. You can look here. So whenever you come to this here, if the request.form.count greater than 0, when you submit form data, in such cases, the count is going to be greater than 0. So therefore, now when you click on the link, what happens? Definitely form count will be 0. Therefore, this part of code will not be getting executed for you. This code will not be executed because without submitting any form, we have come to the page. Straight away, since we are opening that, you cannot have any form fields. There is no form data available. Therefore, it is going to be less than 1. So in such cases, this part of code will not be getting executed. So in 2 different ways we are arriving at the default.aspx page. One is form data along with form data. In the other case, without using any form data, just by clicking on the link, you can come there. So this anchor tag is basically for the links. You can jump from one link to another link with the help of the anchor tag there. Hey, href equal to default.aspx. Then here, what we have written, open default page without form submission. We are not submitting any form data. That way we are actually jumping to that. So link is anchor tag is meant for actually linking the pages. You can navigate from one web page to another web page. Okay, so these are what link tag we have seen, or anchor tag. One more thing is what here we have seen, hidden field. So using hidden field, you can be sharing data from client to server, and here the hidden field value is not visible on the form. On the form you cannot get hidden field. So when you want to share some information, in such cases you can use it. So in such case you can be using this particular thing. Okay, so here what we have done, we submitted some form data. At the time, hidden field value also can be accessed by server. In the server side, it could access. Okay, so these are what we have seen here, different types of tags, like input tag, input type equal to text, input type equal to checkbox, input type equal to radio. Similarly, text area we have seen. Then we have seen actually the select is giving us drop down list. So this way we have used few tags. One more important tag what I want to use is file uploading. Suppose you want to upload a file to server, you have to send a file to server. So in such cases you can use file upload. Okay, here what I do, I go to this, then here I make this way. So class is user input, type equal to, I put file. Using this we can upload file here. Not that, sorry. So here I take this, here write, please select a file to upload. Select a file to upload. This way I make it. I am going to upload a file here, but in this here I use input. Here this is going to be input type equal to file. Here it is. Type equal to, it is here, file. Then followed by name equal to, put it as my file. Similarly, class equal to, we put this as here, we need to put some class equal to, this is what user input, I use this way here, this is going to be user input. Like this I want to select a file. So once file is selected, I should be submitting it. So close here the input tag, like this you can close, then remove this. You can remove this way, input type equal to file, name is my file here, then class equal to user input. And when we submit a file, what should happen? I should save in the server side in some folder. Go to add here, followed by new folder, may name this as my files. So into this folder, this must be getting saved. Okay, so here using server side code, I can do it. I need to submit to server. So whenever it is getting submitted to server, it should be getting saved somewhere in the, say, my files folder. So here write string file name is equal to, put like this here, string file name equal to, you can keep in this manner here. First of all, server.map path, you need to get absolute path. Okay, absolute path of the folder. So therefore put here tilde, then slash my files. So like this we take the path for it. We are using here file path. We can get path server.map path here tilde my files. After that whatever file we get, so that file we have to save. So here write if condition. What if condition we write here? Request dot so here we say files, then dot count greater than 0. Count greater than 0, in such cases we need to save the file. So here write file name equal to, so we use once again the same thing we use here, put this way here, then slash, we put plus here, followed by request dot, we use files, followed by index we use 0 dot, put it as here file name. Just we can use only one file since you have there, you can put like this, that file name we take, then after that we try to save it. So we need to save that file, therefore here write, okay, request dot files of 0, then dot, you can use here save as mechanism. Using save as mechanism you can save, specify the file name, it is going to be file name like this v2. So with this the file has to be saved for us. At the end of that we should get a message, response dot write, so file has been saved, you should get the message like this, file has been saved, you need to get that message, followed by here br tag we put. Like this we should add some message. But when you come to user registration, here you require along with the form one more attribute. Here attribute, we have two attributes, method is post, action equal default or aspx. You require here multi-part. Okay, so we need to use encoding type. With the help of that you can submit, form data can be submitted with that. Right now what is happening, let us see without adding that what happens with this. Just render this again in the browser, let us render this again. I enter 100 as a value, followed by in the bottom there is a place for choosing the file. Choose file here. I can choose a file, some file I can choose from this. So I take the file name as some file name I choose here. That file let us try to upload. All the folders are available here, but see, BSNL screenshot a PNG file we have here. Let us try to open that. File has been opened here. Now when we submit, what happens? See, so it's showing this much. It's not giving any message for us. And go to the folder and see whether any files are available in this or not. We refresh it. No files are shown. Click on this. Open folder in File Explorer. We are not getting any. We are not having any file also here. So therefore, file is not uploaded. Now come to form. In the form, let us change here. Form, one of the attributes we need to change. Put here, then followed by enc type. We use enc type equal to, it is multi-part form data we need to use. Using multi-part form data, we can submit. Need not be text, it can be some other type of data also. That we are trying to submit here. We are submitting multi-part form data in this. We try to submit here multi-part form data. So let us submit that. Now let me render this one here. Again I am going to render this here. Now enter once again this value as 100, followed by here choose a file. This time I can choose some second order text document. Open. Now submit. What it says, hidden field is available on the form, its value is 1, file has been saved, message we are getting like this. This time file could be uploaded successfully to the server. Come to this, then here refresh. You can see now second order.txt this time. When you add it here, encoding type equal to multipart / form data, file could be uploaded. So we could upload a file to the server this way here. To the server we have uploaded file using enc type, encoding type. With the help of that we could do it. So enc type equal to multipart / form data. With the help of that we could upload the file to server. This is called as file uploading. Okay. So therefore in this we have seen different types of tags, like say block level elements, non-block level elements, or inline elements. Inline elements are something like span we have seen. Block level elements are going to be paragraph. Then similarly we have seen div. Okay, so they can be block level elements. Inside that further elements also you can have. Okay, then we have here different types of input tags, like input type equal to text, input type equal to radio, input type equal to checkbox, input type equal to file. Okay, so like this actually input type equal to hidden. These are going to be different types of input. These are going to be different types of input. Okay, whenever you are using input tags, certain restrictions are also you can apply on them. You can apply certain restrictions on that. For example, you take here say input type equal to text. We have given their name equal to username, ID is username, value is empty. But suppose you want to specify only up to 10 characters you should enter, should not be more than 10. Therefore you can put there max length equal to 10 you can put. Come to this point here, then write max length. Okay, so max length equal to, we set it as some 10. More than 10 characters you can't enter here anything. You can't enter more than 10 characters. And apart from that, do we have any very important attributes like this? See here in this. Okay, sometimes I want to go with the disabled. Right now this is enabled only. Okay, max length equal to 10 I have taken. Now let me render this. If I try to enter more than 10 characters, what happens? See, this is sample. After that it's not taking there. When you try to enter more than that, it does not accept there. It's because I have restricted it to only 10 characters. You cannot enter more than 10 in that. When you try to enter 10, it does not accept there. It's not taking it. So we have set it as just 10 characters. This is nothing but kind of restriction you can apply there. We applied a restriction called as here max length equal to 10 only, you can keep in that. Okay. Similarly, suppose when you want to go with the input, automatically it should be converted to text. So here write okay. Text transform, you can take this followed by here. You can do with different types of things. You can capitalize everything in be in the uppercase. We go with the uppercase here. So as soon as you type something, automatically gets converted to uppercase for us in browser. Now whatever I type in the uppercase only, this will be. Where did I put it? Did I put it the same thing or it's something different? So this is what user input transform uppercase. So here let me use capitalize. Okay, so whenever it is user input there, it should change. It's not taking effect. Normally it happens. It becomes uppercase or lowercase. You have here text transform. This is with the user input. Wherever you have user input with that, this is going to be applicable actually. This is the style we use. Text transform we have taken, followed by it is uppercase like this we have here. So go with again uppercase. Once again try to see this. Not getting applied here. So what is the reason? I check actually. Here I kept it text transform uppercase. This is for the user input. Put here uppercase, and here in this let us try to remove the restriction. Maximum length is something like 10 we have here. Let me remove this. Okay, input type equal to text we have taken, and we capitalize that. See just how this is going to be looking for us. So it's not changing. That means it may not be applicable with the input text, but whenever you apply with the link kind of thing, probably it is useful to you. That may transform. So here take class equal to, on this we discuss, class equal to, put it as here user input, like this we take. Now just you in browser this, you can see everything is getting changed now. Open default page without form submission. So it's not for the input. For static text you can use it. So we'll discuss more and more about the CSS, but now it's looking like this. And here it is the mixture of here see open and default are in the proper case, but when I use here everything is getting converted to uppercase. Even you can use here lowercase. We can use here lowercase, with that also it can display it. Take here lowercase, with that we can transform the text. There are so many CSS, so here we use that CSS. Here now what happens, everything is coming with the lowercase. Like this paragraph text can be transformed, okay, from uppercase to lowercase or lowercase to uppercase. It can be getting transformed there. Here everything is coming in the lowercase. We are showing everything in the lowercase. So whatever paragraph text is there, you can transform into lowercase or uppercase. So whatever is coming in that only will be like that. In the input you cannot change it. When you try to input at that time, you can't change. For that you must write your own event. With the help of event you can make it possible. Okay, so these are going to be form elements. We have seen here form elements, and similarly we have seen how this is working here. Overall, what is the structure of the HTML document, how it is, we have seen. Also we have input data, we have sent to server, like that we made. But in the case of UI, our focus is going to be more and more with the user interface designing. We don't bother much about server side. But when you work with server side, how data is sent, the importance of form variables I was explaining you, like that was working. Okay, so in our next session we are going to work with the CSS, cascading style sheets. With that we work. We create cascading style sheets, then we apply those styles with the HTML elements. We try to do both with CSS as well as with the less. There is one more style sheet which is superior than actually the CSS. One is CSS, other one is going to be less, LESS. So for dynamic CSS you can use less. First initially we see how CSS works, then after that we look into LESS. So once we finish these, we can come into JavaScript. At that time we are going to work for most of the time there, because the JavaScript is going to be very, very important in the case of user interfaces. But here you understand overall how it is working, how the CSS is working, you understood, I think. Sorry, not CSS, how HTML elements are working, I think you understood here. How to create a div, how to create a form tag, how to have elements inside that, how to create a paragraph tag, how to apply styles. You have seen, I think, them. If you did not understand thoroughly, just review the videos which we created some time back and go through that again and again, review.